Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your tarot reading. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. Either way, thank you so very much for being here, and thank you for sharing your energy with me. Be sure and like and follow on TikTok and YouTube for me so I can grow my collectives. All the likes, the shares, the comments, they help push my channel out there for others to see, and it helps others get the message, but it also does help me grow. So thank you. And whatever message comes out today is what you need to hear. I've set that intention with Spirit. I'm going to pull two of these oracle cards and get an overall feel for what is going on. And then we'll get into the tarot and we'll pull that traditional Celtic cross spread and get you a message from Spirit. So we have To the Sea and a change in the wind. Interesting. Okay. What is going on for you guys? Let's see. To the Seas, number 7. Being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. Isn't it wonderful when you feel yourself in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless? This card reminds you that going with the flow is exactly what you need to do right now. Ride the wave of opportunity formed by perfect conditions. Allow trust and faith to guide you forward as you flow like a river into the sea of life. I love that. And then a change in the wind is number 12. Skips right over it. There it is. A change in the wind. A sense that unseen change has been initiated. Preparation for a storm. Awareness that your plans are not on firm ground. Feeling a shift. Uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change. To want the world to remain consistent like a zebra's stripes. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. I love that for you. So, yeah, definitely To the Sea and a wind of change. Like, things are going to change, but try to be flexible. Try to go with the flow with these changes. When you try to resist change, you just make it harder for yourself. You really do. I've had a lot of change in the last 7 years of my life, and I just know when I tried to resist things or I tried to control things to my narrative, man, did it make things so much harder. And then once I learned to kind of go with the flow, which is not easy for a Sagittarius, and I am not a patient person, so it was very frustrating at times for me. But once I learned that, everything happens for a reason and Spirit was moving things around for my benefit, it really did help me to be able to understand situations better. And now I can look back at certain situations that I've been through and be like, oh, yeah. So it does work out, but in the moment, it's really hard. But learn to go with that flow because it's so important. So we have the Page of Swords, 9 of Wands, 7 of Cups, the Empress, 3 of Swords, the Devil, 5 of Wands, Strength card, 9 of Swords, and the overall outcome is the 8 of Pentacles. Underneath, we have the 4 of Cups. So, yeah, again, with the, this is about like being open to new opportunities here. And I feel like you're very closed off to these new opportunities. Again, with the change, like you don't want things to change. It can also be like a very stagnant energy. So I feel like maybe things weren't changing and you just weren't very happy with that, but you weren't changing it either. So I feel like maybe this is Spirit kind of, changing things up here. And this is just about you needing to be open to those new experiences. So The situation here is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is about curiosity. It's about learning. It's about knowledge. It's also about being open to messages, embracing unique perspectives. And again, you're just very closed off to that. That's 9. Like you're not open to this at all. And it could be in work, it could be in a relationship. And I don't mean to laugh, like it's just, it keeps telling me over and over and over again, like you're very blocked and you're very, very closed off. And I'm a very stubborn person. So that's why I was laughing. I was relating it to myself. But this is just about being open to new perspectives, new ideas. It's also about like curiosity and exploration. But again, I feel like you are just very closed off to that. So this is the 9 of Wands is about, persevering, persistence. It's also about like challenges and overcoming challenges. So I feel like maybe that's a challenge for you to see things from a unique perspective, a different perspective. So the root of this, the reason why this blockage is here with this situation is the 7 of Cups. So this can be about choices and options, but it's also about like disillusionment. See how there's like fog in those cups? So this could be about using your discernment here and getting clarity on things before you jump to conclusions, or before you kind of resist. I feel like this could be like a definite like resisting whatever this perspective is for you, needing to change how you look at things and going with the flow. And I just feel like you're kind of, you're not very clear on that yet. So in the recent past, we have the Empress, which is about abundance, fertility. She is very much creative energy and very nurturing energy. The Empress is like all of the queens put together. So I feel like in the recent past, there may have been some maybe like creativity opening up, or, just this fertile energy, this creativity. In your higher self or your subconscious, we have the 3 of Swords. So this is about like grief, loss. This is also about like healing. So I feel like maybe there was something that happened that has kind of put you in this mindset of heartbreak for some reason, or grief. But I also feel like this is like you knowing that you need to release that. You need to release whatever this heartbreak was for you. And that could be a loss of a person. That could be, whether that's a loved one or, a romantic relationship. It could also be a loss of a job, like financial losses. But I feel like this is just your higher self telling you that you need to heal that, whatever that is for you. Maybe heal that resistance to, changes and resistance to new things. So in the near future, we have the Devil energy, which is a very toxic energy. It's about like attachments and addictions. Like, I'm just trying to think of all the things that it's about, like temptations. It's also about control. So I feel like in the near future, you may be tempted to control situations. When things are changing, we kind of have this reaction to where we want to try to control things instead of seeing them from a different perspective, or understanding that, if we're stuck and stagnant and we want things to change, we want this creativity and this abundance, then things need to change, but we're still resistant to that, if that makes sense. Like it's, you're just kind of stuck and stubborn. Like it's just, I don't know how else to explain that. And you could try to control the situation here in the near future. So the advice from Spirit is the 5 of Wands. This is about overcoming obstacles. It is about challenges, but it's also about embracing healthy challenges. See them in, a good way, like excuse me, a healthy competition, but also understanding like your challenges and understanding your competition. So in the environment, the influence here is the strength card. And the strength card is about that inner willpower. It is about inner strength. It is about, kind of just having that self-confidence and that courage, that inner power. Your hopes and fears, we have the 9 of Swords. So this is really causing you a lot of anxiety and stress and, kind of up late at night. This is also like thoughts. So this is all in your head, but, not that it's not justified, but it's like you are causing all of this grief and all of this anxiety by not going with the flow and trying to control the situation. So, you just, there are some things that are out of your control that you just really cannot control. The overall outcome is the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like this is about like you kind of putting in the work here, focusing on your skills, dedicating yourself to some type of like craft or commitment here. I feel like this is progress forward. Like you're putting in the work. And this could just be changing your mindset about what you can and cannot control and pushing through that. Because again, like, this to the sea and the winds of change, like things are changing. You just need to learn to go with the flow. And I know that's easier said than done sometimes, but maybe try to look at this from a different perspective and try to see the good that can come out of the situation. So what do they not see coming? What do they not see coming here, Spirit? Just be open to new opportunities and try not to control the situation. Yeah, there's an ending of a cycle, some kind of karmic cycle. So things need to change. When you have the World card, it's like a completion, ending of cycle. Sorry, my nose itches when I channel. It's like a completion of a cycle. It could be a karmic cycle, but this is things closing out and you moving into something else. So, and then we have the Hermit card, which is about solitude, going within, soul searching, finding those answers. He is carrying the star in his lantern. So this could be about you going within to heal and to find answers within. When we go through tough situations and we realize we can't control things, it's good to withdraw and kind of go within and heal and do some soul searching and, just try to find, why are you trying to control the situation? Look at it, why are you trying to control this? And obviously it's because you want things to stay the same, but why? Are you comfortable in your situation? Are you just not wanting to embrace change? And then we have this Ace of Pentacles here. So I feel like this is Spirit trying to give you this new stable beginning. They're trying to hand you this gift. You just have to be open to it. And I feel like you are, because you're closing out these cycles and you're healing and, doing some soul searching here, and just be open to receive these new beginnings. When something ends, when things change, there is a new beginning. So try not to control the outcome. Try not to control what is, and try to go with the flow more. What do they need to focus on? Actions and advice, Spirit. Six of Wands. Focus on your... Oh, we got 4. Focus on your strengths, focus on your self-confidence, and, see your victories here. Try not to focus on the failures. If this is something changing because you feel like, if it's a job ending and you feel like you weren't good enough for that, don't do that. Like, notice that you are, have that self-confidence and know your strengths, and know that you have other accomplishments. Just because you fail at one thing doesn't mean that you're not good enough. And then we have the 2 of Swords here, which is again about being closed off and not making a decision. So I feel like you need to make a decision, whatever this is, this trying to control situations. You're not changing things, so Spirit's changing them for you. And you need to make a decision on whether or not you want to open up and go with the flow. And then we have the Four of Swords and the Seven of Wands. So the Four of Swords is about rest, meditation, again, like going within, like resting and kind of healing, recovering from things. You know, if you're going through big changes, this change in the wind, this is kind of like a tower card for me. And funny enough, it even has like kind of a tower on it. You know, things are changing, but it doesn't mean that that has to be a negative, as long as you learn to open up to those new opportunities and realize that things are ending and changing for a reason. And then we have standing up for yourself and your beliefs, being defiant. I feel like this is just spirit telling you not to resist the changes. Don't be so defensive in situations. And whether that's, again, in work, in relationships, whatever this new stable beginning is that they're trying to bring in for you, I feel like you just need to open up to it and, have the self-confidence, because you're amazing and you need to realize that. You just need to open to this and have that self-confidence. And, again, don't be so closed off. Open yourself up to new opportunities, rest and heal and get the relaxation that you need. And don't be so defensive with spirit in certain situations. Just be open. Don't be so resistant. And this doesn't have to be like resistant with people. It can just be resistance to this change. Don't be so defensive against changes, if that makes sense. When you're just kind of stubborn, it's basically, again, what I'm trying to say. So, and no judgment, because I'm very stubborn. So I hope that this helps. I wish you the best of luck, but overall, I see you really mastering this and ending cycles, and you've got a whole new beginning coming in. So try to focus on that. Try to focus on going with the flow and realizing that change happens to everyone, and it can be a good thing when you see it from a different perspective. And, you kind of just realize that you wanted this change and now it's coming. So I hope that this helps, and I will see you next week. Bye.